Sister Tanisha, your Auntie Tanisha, and I just want to share some living conditions that I am experiencing and have been experiencing for quite some time. I am living in an apartment complex. Whoever the owner is refuses to bring these apartments up to code and up to living standards. Y'all, I cannot tell you the condition and the severity of the mold that's in not just my apartment, but I can only speak for my unit. I cannot drink any of the water. The water is not for human consumption. It has a film over it, what I believe is sewage and drinking water coming out of the same line because the plumbing is so bad out here that the tub has a yellowish green water with a toxic smell that just sits in the drain and it never goes out. Then we have drain flies, drain nets that literally flies out of the drains. We have to, myself and my child have to keep pouring bleach or some kind of disinfectant in the drain just to keep the nets down and to keep the toxic smell down, not knowing if the chemical that I'm pouring in the drain can have an effect to the toxic water or chemical that's in the drain. It could blow up. It's like the conditions are so bad, y'all. And it's like when we go to these people, the city or whoever we need to go to get the help that we need, everybody turning a deaf ear to it because we're low income citizens. We're receiving government assistance or we're receiving housing assistance. And even them, they're not really doing what they supposed to do because for one, the city should be on top of the water system. Cold and the Arkansas Department of Health, they should be on top of what's going on out here as far as the water. Tenants out here with broken hot water tanks. How are they supposed to take hot showers? Even though the water's not safe for consumption, we still have to shower. If we taking a chance of getting some kind of skin infection or bacteria, some kind of infection, trying to stay clean, keep our hygiene together, brushing our teeth, washing our face, cleaning our skin, cleaning our parts. So it's like, what are y'all doing? Besides celebrating the fact that the officials are in love, what are y'all doing to make sure that the city is doing what they supposed to do to keep the code up in these apartments that y'all charging an arm and two legs for? And it's not easy for people such as myself to just up and move because we don't have the financial means. And we don't have the family support. And we probably wouldn't want to go live with a family member because we know how it feels for a family member to not really want you there. And most of us scared to speak out about it because we don't want to get evicted, even though we're living in harsh conditions. What are we supposed to do? It's easy for y'all to say, well, get up. You look like you can get up and go get a job. You don't know. Y'all don't know what we go through, whether it's a mental or physical impairment and disability. We have tenants that have passed away from respiratory distress. Most likely it could be for the overtime of mold growing in these apartments. One tenant, he had to transfer from another unit because he had mushrooms growing underneath his sink. Mushrooms is fungus. Fungus comes from mold. Mold is a type of fungus. And we're just being overlooked. We're literally paying squatters. We have many units we have a whole building that's boarded up, abandoned. We have broken windows, kicked in doors. We don't know if wild animals or humans living in there, more squatters living in there. The only time we see anybody just happen to see a vehicle from out of state that we know that's in the office, they will not unlock the door. They will not reveal who they are. They just there between the first and the fifth to collect the rent for those who pay their money in the rent drop box. Between the 6th and the 30th and the 31st, we don't know who owns these apartments. We don't know. We don't have a property manager on site. We don't have a maintenance on site. We don't have a phone number that actually works to connect us to somebody. If we do receive an email, it's most likely a no reply email, and that's just a reminder for us to pay the rent and not be late, or we're going to accumulate late fees. I'm sure they won't have no problem kicking us out of here if we don't pay the rent, which we are paying our rent, but I'm just saying, we don't see anybody when we need people, when we need maintenance repairs, when we need tenant care. We don't know who we paying our rent to be honest. We don't know who's collecting the rent. I haven't seen a receipt yet. Not from them, but I have my own personal receipt. But I'm just saying this to say y'all need help. We are displaced. We don't know we're going to be homeless the next week or the next month. We don't know what to come to these, because these apartments are not even livable. And the city has failed us. The state, whoever else has failed us, because ain't nobody doing their job. Because if they was, then the code enforcement will know that this water is toxic. And they supposed to check this, to my knowledge, like twice a year or every year? Code enforcement, Department of Health supposed to come and inspect these apartment complexes to make sure they up the code and livable. The stairs are unstable, and I'm disabled, not even supposed to be living upstairs. Denied access to move to a downstairs apartment since I've been here in 2019. Just need help, y'all. I just need help, and I'm just tired. I trust God, and I know God is going to come through. It's just people need to know what's going on. We're living in bad conditions. And to think that it's another place, and I'm starting to think we may be owned by the same company. The apartments may be owned by the same company. Shorter Gardens, they're squatting. The difference between them and us is we're paying rent to squat. They're not. They don't have anybody to come out there, to what I was told. I'm not really sure. But that's what was told to me, that they don't even have an owner anymore. They just live in there. Abandoned apartment. Something go broken or need fixed, they out on their own and have to figure it out on their own until they decide to go somewhere else. Just a whole community of displaced homeless people. Just like us. We really, to be honest, we're homeless. We're just paying to live in poor conditions. Just to have a roof over our head that leaks when it rains, or a flood when it rains. Depends on if we live upstairs, it's going to come through the roof. If we live downstairs, it's going to come through the floor. Either way, the water going to come through. Help us. Help us. Help us.